Next up, the gentleman who's responsible for the paint on Barbie's lips. Ed Laird is next. Stay with us. My next guest is about as interesting as the company he founded almost 20 years ago now. We present to you Mr. Ed Laird of Coatings Resource Corporation. Mr. Laird is the executive board member of Orange County-based the Boy Scouts of America here in Orange County, member engineering council of San Diego State University, and past president of the Society of Plastic Engineers, among many other things that we'll talk about, as well as being the president of your very own company here in Huntington Beach. Hello, sir.
How are you, Matt?
Good, good. Thanks for coming on board here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
First of all, congratulations. It's a little long in passing here, but congratulations on Entrepreneur of the Year. This was in 1993?
Yes.
From Inc. magazine?
Inc. magazine and Ernst & Young accounting agency.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So my question first would be, what's it like being an entrepreneur?
Well, you have short fingernails because you dig a lot. I think that being an entrepreneur in a manufacturing setting is really one that once you secure your customers and you're successfully getting the customers, the next thing you have to do is secure financing to service those customers.
Right, right. But originally, though, you were an engineer. You are an engineer.
A chemist.
Well, chemist. But what initially interested you in that field, then to apply it to what you're doing today?
Well, actually, while I was in school, I was a biology major, and my first job was at a paint company in Detroit making automotive paint. Hmm. And they interested me in chemistry, and the rest is history. I've been in the paint business now for 33 years. 33 years. Yes. Founded my company 20 years ago.
20 years ago. And you must have had many hurdles along the way. We hear words like environmentalists, and we hear words of how you get over the hurdles of government regulations and this type of thing. You've been a pioneer in this field of making what could be a true negative in many people's eyes into a positive.
Well, yes. We've been very successful in trying to meet the government regulations and the rules that they impose on actually manufacturing paint and the release of emissions into the atmosphere that react and form smog. And we've been able to reduce those emissions in our coatings and in some cases make them completely water-based products so that there's no environmental impact whatsoever.
Right. But I mean, you've helped many other businesses as well, haven't you?
Yes. Basically, our job as formulators are to make these products so that our customer base can remain in Southern California.
Right. Product-wise.
That's correct.
All right. Product-wise, I'm in the store. What is yours? I see.
Well,
I'm looking at the shelves.
You won't see our product on a shelf in a hardware store or anything of that nature or a paint store. We actually make paint for manufacturers.
Yes.
We make the paint for Mattel toys. In fact, my biggest claim to fame is that I make the paint for Barbie's lips. But we also make a lot of other type of coatings. A shock-free coating on a television set. Most television sets are made of plastic, as the one we have here today. And
did you make this one?
The paint on the bezel of that product, yes, is ours.
All right, very good.
And a plastic cabinet will store an electrical charge. And if you were to touch it without our coating being on there, you could get a shock. Our coating dissipates the static electricity into the air.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, this is something you founded?
Yes. We founded this 20 years ago, and one of our first customers was Sony TV, and having a customer of the reputation of Sony TV, you do get a lot of the other companies to pay attention to.
Rather quickly.
Yes.
And they're still a client today, I'm sure, right?
Yes, they are.
Down the line. Very
One
good.
of our largest.
Why the Boy Scouts? Why does that interest you so much, Mr. Eagle Scout?
Well, I'm not an Eagle Scout myself.
I read you were an Eagle Scout.
No,
your son's
my eldest son is an Eagle Scout, yes. Well, I have 3 sons, and I was a scout when I was younger, but then you discover girls about 14 or 15, and I gave up on scouting. But I made sure that my son stuck with it, and I have 3 sons, and they are grown now, but the need for scouting, it's something I've enjoyed very much, so I've gone on to I'm a 23-year member of the Orange County Council, Boy Scouts of America, and I'm the vice president of the council this year.
Wow. And any insights in the Boy Scouts? Where's it going right now?
Believe it or not, it's a real fine program. It involves both boys and girls now. You know, the exploring program is career awareness, and it also has select interest groups. So you can be a girl in the Boy Scouts today. We have a tremendous sea base down in Newport Beach, and there's sailing and a lot of other sports or water sport activities now that go on down there. Plus we have hiking and
Sure.
In fact,
I was a Weeblo.
Oh, you were? Well,
I was a Weeblo.
But basically, we also have Explorer programs for police and fire, and the city of Huntington Beach has a tremendous police Explorer group.
Yes, they
in
do.
our city.
Yeah, one of the most advanced in the state, actually.
That's correct.
Blue Chip Award winner, are you, sir?
Yes.
Explain that. This is recent. This is most recent.
Yes, that was presented. I was one of 4 in California that was presented this award, and it is sponsored by the National Chamber of Commerce as well as Connecticut Mutual. And basically, it may be just an award for survival because I'm still in business. But basically, it's helping people stay in business here. And along with my paint company, I'm very active in the environmental arena,
yes, you
especially the Air Pollution Control District, and we manufacture products that meet their stringent requirements, and where we feel that they're unfair or they've gone too far, we fight on behalf of our customers to overturn onerous regulations.
And you've been very successful in that area. That's what I was alluding to earlier. We hear about Red Team.
Yes?
What is a Red Team in the city of Huntington Beach?
We have a nice industrial base out near McDonnell Douglas, and there's a few empty buildings out there, and we would like to see other companies come and join us here in Huntington Beach and live near the beach and work near the beach. And I've joined the Red Team at the request of Councilman Dave Garofalo, and basically it's to sell our city as an all-around place to do business and to live.
And you found that to be true yourself.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. You're going to take us, you're nice enough to say, why don't you come on in and take a look at how we do what we do.
Sure.
So why don't we go ahead and look at that now.
Okay.
Okay, and do you have, what is it, a specific product or just, or what are we going to see again?
We make a lot of paints for products such as TV, electronics, and computers, but a lot of toy coatings, so you may see a few.
Let's do that. Yeah,
toys.
let's look at toy coating. Here we go.
All right.
Laird, coatings, resources. Here we go. Okay, what are we looking at?
This is our plant on Commerce Lane in the northern part of the city.
You bet.
And we're expanding. We started with one building at 16,000 square feet. Now we have 3 buildings at 50,000 square feet.
Oh, my God. How many employees?
65.
Right, right. How does a process start in what you do?
Well, basically, it might a request might come in from a customer to adhere to a certain type of plastic,
Okay.
a plastic that might be very difficult to adhere to.
Okay.
We take it into our laboratory. We ask them what type of properties they want. Is it abrasion resistance? Is it a shock-free coating? Does it have to have resistance to ketchup, mustard, or fingernail polish? And so then we will take and we'll decide what product. In the case of toy coatings, they're all non-toxic. All of the products we make are totally non-toxic.
Now, are we talking about, like, I go into a Disneyland store,
Yes.
just like our earlier guest. I go into a Disneyland store, a theme park or something, and I see the squeezable Mickey Mouse or something.
Yes.
That's your paint?
Right.
Or coating?
Yes. Coatings are painted. Either one of them
Same
is good.
thing.
Sure.
Okay.
Basically, his eyes, his ears, or his mouth might be painted with our coating, and this is done in a manufacturing setting where they put a mask or a template over the part they're going to paint, and then they spray paint just the eyes or just the lips. And we have sprayed a lot. We've made a lot of paint for Mickey Mouse's face as well as Barbie. In fact, we make the pigment for Barbie's skin.
Which is what? Is that known? Is there a name for a pigment?
Yes.
For Barbie's?
Well, she has several tones.
Yeah, she's very well toned.
Right. Well, basically, she has a regular, normal flesh skin, and then there is a Malibu tan, and then there was an in-between tan, and we named it Surf City Tan.
There you go.
For Huntington Beach.
He's on the map right there. All right. So how many colors you actually can use when you manufacture coatings and so forth?
We literally make thousands of coatings.
Thousands, yeah.
Yes, colors.
Yes.
And we have full-time 3 color matchers that their job is to, once the batch is made, and whether it's a 50-gallon or a 1,500-gallon tank,
Yes.
we bring it up to a certain standard, and then the color matcher will take it from there and tint it in and take it on the precise color. We do computerized color matching, but we found that matching it by eye is probably the best way to do it yet.
Outside of the environmental concerns and the regulatory hurdles and so forth that you've championed and have done so well with, what are the other manufacturing challenges that are on the horizon today?
I think the biggest thing in California is to keep people motivated. We're just coming off the recessionary times, and there's a lot of gloom and doom with the bankruptcy of Orange County, and there's a lot of people that feel that California is not the place that they wanted to be, and it's expensive, and so you get a lot of motivational problems. And because of this, we have a lot of employees that come and go.
So we're becoming more transient?
Yes, I would say so.
And that's a trend for how long we've had that trend, do you feel?
For the last at least 3 years.
3 years? And how do we reverse that? How do we get more motivation?
Well, I think we have to concentrate on more red teams and get our manufacturing base back here in Southern California. In the case of Barbie or Mattel toys, we used to sell them paint in Hawthorne and the City of Industry. Today we send it to Tijuana and to Hong Kong. We need that business back here in California. And we need to create incentives to get large manufacturers back here.
So Barbie, what else? Barbie, Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
I guess Donald Duck would fall into place. He would get jealous if we didn't name him.
Right.
Thing. Anything else?
Well, we manufacture any coatings for any industrial application that generally is a plastic substrate.
So it has to be from plastic usually?
Not usually, yes. That's our expertise in sticking to plastics. And you know, the soft plastics that you find on the faces at Disneyland, those are coated with our material, like the rouge on Minnie Mouse's face. That would be
yours.
Our coatings, yes. Or Abraham Lincoln, or all the Pirates of the Caribbean. All of their skin and face would be painted with our coatings.
Incredible, incredible. I've got a note here. Lincoln Training Center.
Yes.
It's a special place for you.
Yes, it is. Lincoln Training Center is very special to me because I'm still on the board there for 10 years now, and I was chairman of the board for 3 years. And the Lincoln Training Center is a developmentally disabled workshop, and we have 400 employees that come to work every day and actually perform work for salary, and they have either one handicap or more or greater. They could have a mental handicap as well as a physical handicap. And the workshop is, while it does depend on some of its money from state aid, the state and feds are weaning a lot of these programs. And so we are becoming self-sufficient, where we actually do packaging, and we do counting and quality control, and we also do janitorial work and various functions that perhaps a lot of the repetitious work that a normal manufacturing company might not want to do.
So these people actually can work for you?
Yes, that's correct.
And that's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yes. We want them to bring in and give them a
For
skill.
coatings resource?
Yes.
Okay. And how long would that usually last? I mean, what?
Well, it depends on the program. If there's something that we have for our clients, as we call them, there are some that probably will never get out of our workshop because it might be counting, or they may be so handicapped that they wouldn't be able to work out in the mainstream. But there are a lot of clients that we supply for stocking and for salespeople for Nordstrom. Nordstrom is one of our largest customers for our workshop of giving the mentally handicapped a break out in the mainstream life.
I understand. What is your philosophy? I mean, obviously you have the business, and then you have this huge heart here.
Well,
what is your philosophy as it applies to what you do?
Well, I'm a strong family person, and I love having my sons all live down here in Huntington Beach, close to me, and working with me. And
Surf City.
Yes, Surf City. And all of our employees, any that I can encourage, we are like a family. We're a good team, and I would encourage them to live down here too. So I think that creating a good atmosphere to work in, and to make working fun. You know, you have to work about half your life, so it may as well be as enjoyable as you can make it.
Oh, you bet. And you're making it enjoyable, not just for me as a host here, but obviously a lot of people around you, and I want to thank you very much for coming down today.
Well, thank you, man.
Ed Laird. Coatings Resource Corporation right here in Huntington Beach. Thank you.
You're watching HBTV3.